Welcome to the Veterans for America First Vet Voice podcast. I'm Jared Craig, host of the podcast and Veterans for America First ambassador. I have the pleasure today of interviewing Josh Williams. He's a candidate for the Ohio State District 41, and he's Veterans for America First endorsed. And first of all, I want to congratulate you for winning your primary election. So I want the voters of your district and those interested to know as much as they can about all of their candidates and specifically you, Josh Williams. So tell our viewers a little bit about who you are.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity. First, I want to thank Veterans for America First for endorsing me and supporting my campaign. I appreciate that. It means the world to me. I'm born and raised here in Toledo, Ohio. I'm the Republican candidate here for District 41, which is a lot of the suburbs of Toledo and portions of Toledo. Currently, I'm a practicing attorney, a college professor in Michigan, where I teach constitutional law, and criminal procedure. I'm also a former school board president. But life was not always that easy. See, I'm a former homeless high school dropout with a GED. I dropped out of high school when I was 18 when I became homeless. Slept on park benches and some of my friends' couches and basements until I was able to get on my feet. And I started working for the railroad as a subcontractor. But at the age of 21, I fell 30 feet and destroyed my spine and laid in bed for the next 6 years. So by the time I was 23, I was completely disabled. And for 6 consecutive years, I laid in bed, undergoing 5 major back surgeries, 32 procedures on my spine, and even had weight loss surgery because during that first 2 years, I gained 200 pounds and I was 458 pounds at my heaviest. And eventually there was just a point there where my mindset changed from being a victim to claiming victory over my life. And I fought with the state of Ohio for over a year to be able to go to college. In Ohio, if you're an injured worker and you enroll in college without permission, you are considered to be maximum medically improved and kicked off your disability. So we fought for a year, and after threatening lawsuits, we finally got permission, as long as we could find someone to pay for it. And I got an NGO by the name of Opportunities for Ohioans with Disabilities to pay my first 2 years tuition. And I started college at the age of 30. And by 35, I was graduating from law school with 3 degrees, including my law degree, and becoming a practicing attorney. And then I was sworn in, was married a year ago, and 4 months into my new marriage, I walked in and told my wife I was considering putting a pause on my personal career and growth and running for politics to try to make substantial changes here in the state of Ohio.
Well, we appreciate all the candidates that have an America First agenda. And you have on your website a list of your issues. But what issues are the most important to people of your district?
Well, one is economics. So we're all hit right now by the rising of gas prices and food prices, and the fact that we have record high inflation that we've never seen in most of our lifetimes. So a lot of voters here in the 41st are concerned with what we're going to do to be able to combat some of that, both on a state and national level. So part of it is we want to reduce taxes here in the state of Ohio. We want to reduce or eliminate the personal income tax here. That will create a little bit of spending constraints. We need to tighten the belt and get rid of some of the pork here that we waste money on here in the state of Ohio. My position has always been the same. The more money you leave in the individual voter's pocket to do as they want, the more localized that dollar is spent compared to you just turning over your money over to the state of Ohio and they can spread it all over the state. I'm more for a localized economy. In addition, there's a lot of concern when it comes to job creation and workforce development, and that's one of my passions. So most people look at this next statement as kind of an oxymoron, but I benefited from being disabled. And what I mean by that is I was eligible for programs to help me undergo vocational training, rehabilitation, workforce development that a person sitting next to me would not be eligible for because they were able-bodied. So I was able to see the benefit of programs that were specifically guided towards putting you in a sector of the economy that needed workers, that was a growing sector and was economically viable for the investment that we needed towards paying towards any type of vocational training. So one of my goals is to expand the workforce development programs that we have currently headed through our lieutenant governor, such as the IMAP program here in Ohio, the individual micro-credentialed assistance program. Unfortunately, there's not one training center in Lucas County in regards to that program, and that's one of the goals to bring that training center here. So the idea is to work with industry to be able to see what type of skills workers need to be able to qualify for entry-level positions and upper management positions, and see if we can put together training programs that make people eligible without having to go to college and rack up student loan debt that the government now wants to just forgive.
Well, you have framed the idea of American manufacturing, American jobs with the economy, and I appreciate you putting that together very succinctly. I think that really sets well with the voters of your state, your district, and people across the country. So if someone wanted to know more information or to reach out to you for volunteership or to make donations, how would they go about finding out how to do those things?
Sure, they can always go to our website for all of those resources. So joshwilliamsforohio.com. It has a tab for donations. It has a tab for volunteering. It has a tab in a form that you can fill out if it's as simple as you want a yard sign dropped off at your door. You want a t-shirt. If you want to help with some administrative stuff behind closed doors because you can't get out and physically walk doors with me, there's administrative stuff you can do. There's phone calls that you can make. You can come out to some of our fundraisers. We have one coming up on the 13th of October where Bob Latta, Congressman Bob Latta, gave us his endorsement. He's going to be out at a fundraiser for us here in Sylvania. So there's a myriad of ways to help our campaign. You can also join us on our social media, Josh Williams for Ohio. The only one that's funny is Twitter, which is Williams with the number 4 Ohio. And you can find out what we have going on in our community and come out and show support for me and other Republican candidates.
Well, Jones, we need to get you to the state capitol in Columbus so you can make a difference. So we're proud to endorse you, Veterans for America First. We look forward to seeing you as a mover and shaker and influencer in your state government. So thank you for your time today, and I look forward to having you back on the show possibly in the near future.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.